Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. How are you doing? I am Divine Celion. How are you? For those of you that have coming back, welcome back. For those of you that are new, welcome in. Welcome in. Today I do have a divine message for you today. And I pulled my divine abundance cards. And a lot actually came out, more than I expected. So, those of you that don't know me, I am an ordained minister. I do not act like ministers. I act like me. I am authentically me, 100%, and I will be. No one can say otherwise, and no one can judge me. That's why I can smile. What I do, I bring guidance and help. And I do it authentically as I do it. And I ask you to be authentic to yourself because that's where the real change happens. And so I am not a counselor or a therapist. I cannot give you guidance in that aspect. But I can give you spiritual advice. I am allowed to do that. And if there's anything dealing with teaching, I can, because I am a teacher. So with that, let's get started, y'all. So our first card, flow. And I'm going to chunk these. Awakening, energetic clearing, and expansiveness. Now, that is the first piece. All of them make up the message today, but that is the first piece. We have grief, true offering, invite help, limitlessness, and your path. And I'm telling you, it was not a mistake how these came out at all. So the first one, flow. Move with the divine in flow. Okay, so divine, what is the message you got for us? You're being called at this time to move beyond what has been happening to you. It is our time. Figuratively and literally, and the darker forces know that. It is our time. They cannot touch you anymore at this time. They know what I'm saying is true. Their time has been up for at least 5 years. They were not to touch, and they're touching certain folks because they know. And they're cheating because they know these people will be the ones to make a deciding factor, a big difference. They had their time. They did what they did. The world is in the way that it is because they did what they did. I'll have to explain that a little later because that's a big thing. But you're asking right now to flow, to awaken. Flow meaning go with what is happening now. Now, I know that's heavy. That's like, wait, I got things going on with you, B. I can't. Yes, you can. You have full control over how you respond to it. You do. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to put this up. I got to. Because this stuff is itching my back. I got to. So, you have full flow control over how you respond. You do. You do. The next time something makes you angry, just see it for what it is and don't respond. Don't react. and see how much the situation just kind of, and you're able to reason it out. Now, for those of you that can't, thank you. For those of you that can't and just react, the situation is going to respond to how you react. And that's the answer you're going to get in kind. So be careful. Upon seeing this, you're going to awaken. You're going to learn some things about you, where you're at on your path, where you need to be, and how you need to be responding to things. Y'all, in this reading, okay, Spirit is knocking on my back. Let me talk. Spirit's like, let me talk. Move out the way. Let me talk. So this is going to be a channeled message through the cards. Spirit needs you to now see you. You are being called, especially if you're a chosen one, starseed, whatever, indigo child, especially indigo children, because you know we're here for a specific reason, unlike other chosens. You're being asked to awaken now. Our time is now. You're asked to be in awaken now. But you must flow. You've been asleep. And we're not talking in terms of woke, not woke. No. You've been asleep, spiritually asleep to who you truly are. You got to wake up. It says, "Oh my Lord, wake me from the life as a spiritual sleep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense." You had a catalyst for your change. We have been through that. That has actually happened during a time when it was divinely ordained to happen because certain things cheated. It was meant to happen. And it has been seen, documented, and noted. And those things will get got. They have to. Because they cheated. Next, energetic clearing. Okay. So as you're awakening and you're flowing, you are also, as you're going on your path, you're doing this. You are removing those things that are not of your harmonious holiness, your light. See, there's time for shadow. But when you're asked to flow, you're being moved out of the shadow and you're being woken up to the light. Your time for shadow is over, depending on where you're at on your journey. It is time for you to cleanse out. On this card is beautiful, Kali. You're being asked to cleanse out. Kali or Shiva, I think it is. You're being asked to cleanse out. Okay. Next, expansiveness. Okay. You have 3 cards here of your prophecy. You heard what I said. You heard what I said. I'm going to get there. That talks on limitlessness and expansiveness. Let me have you understand something. I did a activity where I went beyond me. And I go where I usually go. And it was like, why are you not as vast as I am? Why? But I knew that wasn't a question just for me. If you can fathom the cosmos, why can you not fathom things happening as big as that for you? Why can you not fathom your possibilities as big as that? That was the question. Why are you limiting yourself based on what you see? What you see, my love, ain't even real. You create your realness. Again, there are universal laws that we live within. That is absolute truth. Filtered on down, you got then passing through spiritual beings when their perception, and you got passed down to us through ours, through our perception, right? But the expansiveness and the limitless never changes. It is always limitless. Remember, everything is possible because anyone can think of anything. So everything is possible here. And this is why you're kept in fear, so you don't know this. And your love is your catalyst vehicle to that. In total and in in its authenticity, because love is authentic, love is not fake. So eternity is far more creative than rigid. It is fluid. It flows. If you don't flow, you cannot flow with the expansiveness of the universe. Fear makes you not flow. Fear does this to you. But love flows. Love is like a current because it flows through all of us. Fear can flow through all of us too, but it'll stop at some point when you get to people like me. And say no. Love will pick us up. You can go now. We don't need you. See, you have a lot of people right now mad at you, but not for what you think. They're blaming you for things you didn't do because they're things that they did. They're things that they cannot do. They're not on your level. They don't know what you know, and they don't understand that they've been used to awaken you. One, they've also been used to show them, but they will never be on your level. They will never be on our level, and their time is over. They're going to lose because it was ordained and meant that they would lose. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to stop the indigo children and the chosens and the star seeds and the light workers. They're trying to stop us from receiving, thinking they can. Thinking. When their common sense and intuition tells them that they can't. Instead of moving with us, and you're going to see some of the fake ones trying to, but they're going to get got because it's not their time. It's light time now. Their time ended. They know this. But they're trying to keep the rules going, right? And so they're going to step in your way. They're going to be like, no, we can't let you move. We're going to lose. You're going to lose irregardless. You were on the wrong team. We just sat and waited. Some of us not so patient, but we just sat and waited until it was our time. And then you're going to try to step in. No, you can't have, sit down, shut the fuck up. Yes, we can. We never needed you except to realize our own divinity. We didn't need the enemy. We didn't need them except to understand our own divinity. That's what them were for. Understand that. Them are only for you to understand your own divinity and your own expansiveness. And it is time to get them out of your energy. They can't hold on to it anymore. And let me tell you, they are fighting tooth and nail to hold on to it. And I am talking about those spirits and those people and those beings that follow that. They got immediate reward without any work following that. Those of us of the light will wait. We'll wait. We'll keep being reborn until it's our time to be of the light. We'll wait. Go ahead. Now it's our time. But now that it's our time, they're trying to destroy shit so we can't have. They're like, no. When that was not the rules of the trial. That was not the rules of court. And you know how court works. Prosecution presents, defense presents, right? And all through that, you had smaller trials going on because niggas were cheating. That's why between 2019, December 2019 to now has been so pivotal. Because during that time, things were supposed to change. But what did they do? They shut a world down to shut chosens down. They shut down and took away from people so things physically couldn't move. But you didn't do nothing spiritually. You can't. They're not spirit. They're not source. I don't give a damn what spirits you go to. They're not the highest. No. So, and every good has an opposite. But the opposite is still limited when it comes to the light. If it don't embrace the light. That's why I walk middle path. So, through our expansiveness, they brought us grief. And our grief was our true offering. Follow me. Follow me. Okay. If you looked at Jesus' path he walked was not a positive one. From before he was born, there were problems. His mother had to travel so far to birth him among animals, because that's how he was treated and how he was going to be treated. Forecasting. Right? People didn't understand him. Even his own disciples didn't understand him 100%. Only a few. Only a few did. Right? Hold on, y'all. Right? Okay. So, in knowing this, sometimes your grief is your payment for your greatness. And what you just walked through is proof your grief was your offering to spirit. You had to walk through this grief. You had to walk through this hurt. It had to play out. You had to lose this person. It was already ordained you would. You had to lose that job. It was already ordained you would. You had to lose those family members. You had to lose those friends. You had to let people go. It was already ordained you would. It was already ordained you would go through this grief. Some of us before this has been going through so much because of whose side it was to be at the time. Right? And I keep telling people, if Jesus was going to get it, Son of Divine is going to get it. What makes you think you ain't going to get it? You're funny. If the Son of the Divine is going to get it, baby, you like cookie crumbs. Of course you're going to get stepped on. But there's a reason why they say offer it up. That's your sacrifice. That's your payment for help. Okay? That's your payment. The darker side's payment is, give me your desire. I give you what you want. There's a payment though. That's your soul. Right? Huge payment. Spirit is, I want your love, which is all of you, for your payment. Give me your pain. And I'm going to replace it with something else. Give me your pain. I'm going to show you the lesson. For you to understand you were love anyway. It was just ordained to happen so you could see you. That's what love does. So your grief is your true offering. Okay? Your grief is your unbearable cross that you had to bear. All of us have to bear a cross. We just don't know what it is. Some of us do. I already knew mine when I was little. Some of us know, some of us don't, because some of us pay attention to the trends that's happening in our life and some of us don't. Start paying attention to the trends that happen in your life. But you had to, my love, walk through this grief. That grief was your offering. That's why you had to walk through it. That was your offering for what's to come to you. What's it mean to you? See, what people don't understand is in this universe, in this plane, in all dimensions, there is a cost. To anything, there's a cost. There is a give and take. There's an equal exchange. That's why people have a hard time when they're doing spiritual works. And some people have a hard time taking money for it. There's an equal exchange of money, of energy, of time, of love, of whatever it is. There's an equal exchange that has to happen that keeps things in balance. So my loves, when you do spiritual arts, yes, you're to give, but you're also to receive. You're to replenish. You understand? Some of you just put a money price on it. Some of you put time on it. Some of you put love on it. Some of you put service on it. Whatever it is. And even if you do receive financial, we're still to give it back. We're still to serve and give it back and use it for something, for help. Now, you done gone through this grief. We all done gone through this grief. Oh, and it was bad. And a lot of us have learned to love us through it. That was the lesson. Love yourself more. Be selfish to you to be selfless to them. Okay, and when I'm saying that them, it's humans. Now is the time to invite help. Some of you are so broken and broke down and so much in pain and cannot see with the eyes of love through the pain, through the grief. I have videos on this. I understand. You're not at the point yet, some of you, where love, you just see love and you're grateful for the lesson. You gotta mature into that. That is not automatic. I should have said that in some other videos. That is not automatic. But grief, true offering, and inviting help does a couple of things. It makes you flow with the divine. It awakens you to your path. It brings an energetic clearing of those that don't need to be in your energy, because once you ask for divine help, the divine tells those others, no, and you will not. Gaia tells others, no, and you will not. Your spirit guides and ancestors will stand up there, no, and you will not. And this is why some of these people cannot understand why you are so damn protected. Because we're supposed to be. They saw what happened to my father. If it'll happen to my father, they'll do it to them, to us, right? And we're the ones here to deliver the message. So, of course, something has to step in and be like, no. Of course, our light is bigger than you. It illuminates. Of course. Our love. What did I tell you? You don't use love. And you think, this is a message to them, you think that you can downplay and fool love when love is 100% authentic. You can't fool love. Some of these people try to say, okay, let's put these two people together, siphon their energy, and then keep this person hidden to the side while you out with this other person. Don't you understand, if the person is the one with the energy that brings, right, is not happy and is not in their full potential, you don't get the 9 of Cups or the 9 of Pentacles. You don't get it. The fuck you thinking? You don't know. And that's what I realized. Them don't know. They don't know shit but their side. And they do the same thing over and over again. You don't know. You have no clue. And I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to keep you ignorant. Because my message ain't for you. See, those chosen one star season indigo children, our message is not for them. They're karmic. They chose to stay karmic. Their soul is karmic. You stay the fuck karmic and out of our face. You don't want what we have. The only reason why you want what we have is to know what we're fucking doing so you can try to stop it. You can't stop shit. No amount of money. Not even death can stop it. You know that. But you trying to do everything behind the scenes so no one knows it's you when it's about to come out. Because it has to. We're in court. It has to come out. It's going to come out. That's why you're going to lose. Should have paid attention to what the hell you was doing. During the time, it was your time. Should have left us alone. Should have stocked up. If you knew you weren't going to receive anymore, why didn't you stock up? Oh, but you older ones did. Because the older ones act different from the younger ones. But I'm not to speak on that. Because I felt it in my throat. I'm not to speak on that. So I'm going to leave that alone. So, back to the chosen stars and indigo children. When you invite help in, you get a clearing. You gave over your grief. You gave it as an offering. Please take this. I need help. I can't. And notice this. When you are so down, so lost and confused, and you have nowhere else to go, notice how full the cup is when you're like that. See, the cup may be full, but no one talks about what's in the cup. It ain't just water. When you have a cup, it catches everything. Shit, debris, dust. It catches everything. You're not constantly doing this to your cup. So when your water or your elixir is dirty, you're confused. You don't know what's going on. You can't use your intuition. You don't understand why it's not working. You can't meditate. You can't find peace. Your cup is dirty. It's full, but it's dirty. Empty it. That is also your offering. You're emptying it in front of the divine. And then the divine is like, well, this is why you're this way. This is in your cup. Dirtying your water. This is in your grail. Dirtying what's in it. You got to empty your cup. You got to clean it. Energetic clearing. You got to clean it out to receive the clean. That's why you invite help. And I didn't realize that until now. That's why you invite help. To empty your cup so you can clean it and wash it clean. So you give that grief over as your offering and you ask for help. And so everyone, and depending on how big your cup is, everyone is here trying to push it over to empty it. Pull it back, clean it out so you can receive. And right now, you must flow so it can be emptied. Because you're about to receive huge. And your cup can't be full because it's going to, like the Ace of Cups, floweth over. Right? Now, the good thing is the clean flows over to other people and they get clean. The bad is if overflows with all that gunk in it, they get the gunk. That's not needed to overflow on anybody. They'll get the same confusion as you. Hence why a lot of people walking around in confusion saying shit, and other people are getting just as confused from the information because their cup is dirty with dirty shit in it. I hear you, Gaia. I hear you. Y'all, the wind has been talking non-stop. Non-stop. Since I woke up. nonstop. You are limitless. What you forgot was, you forgot you were. You have forgotten who you are. If you don't consider yourself a limitless being, you have forgotten who you are. See, it's one thing, and this has been bothering me. It's one thing to walk around and say you're God, and God is a limiting name, and I'll get to that another time. I knew that when I was little too. It's one thing to walk around. Don't you even try to pull that. Stay on path. It's one thing, sorry, some trying to make me lose my thought. We ain't doing that today. We ain't playing them games. I said no. Fear gives you a limit. You're limitless. What will happen and what will be regardless, for whatever reason. So worry is not necessary. Fear. If you're afraid of something, learn how to deal with it. Learn it. Learn it. Learn where it comes from. A lot of times, do you notice that humans run away from two things? Fear. 3, pain and love. Do you notice that? Humans run away from fear, what makes them afraid, what brings them pain, and love. But I told you before, I learned pain means pay attention inside now. I am a person that hated it, and that's what I received all my life, physically and emotionally, and spiritually, and mentally. Every way I could receive pain, I received pain because I didn't want it. And so since it was the dark path's time of the trial, then they're like, oh, you don't want it? Boom, we're going to give it to you. Let's see if you break. Bitch, I don't break. So notice now, follow that. Let's follow that. You don't break. Well, why don't I break? Because you're limitless. You're not meant to break. It's not written in your code to break. See, them always try to do something and implant something and put something that don't belong, thinking they can play God. That's the whole problem. Them trying to play God. The God. The source. No. No. We know energy is our commodity. We know our energy is limitless. It's neither created nor destroyed. We know this. We're not connecting the dots, people. You're limitless. You've been. You will be. You will return back. You'll be brought back, depending on what your path is. But you're limitless. That means there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't call on to bring it to you. All of that. But the one who has to care is not spirit, is not source, is not Satan, is not Lucifer. The one who has to care is you. Because you're the one doing. You have to care. You have to learn what love is. Love is a part of your path. Love is the part of the path of everyone. So when you say you're God, but you walk around here limited, you're not God. Spirit has no limits. It made itself have no limits. So then how can you say you're a part of the divine or you're God then? Or you're a part of God when you give yourself limits, when you allow fear, when you allow chaos, meaning, because you have to sometimes, meaning though you sit in them. You sit in them. You stay there. Why do you sit in it? Why do you stay there? You're limitless. You are expansiveness. You don't end. Like source doesn't end. So why do you sit there? You ask for the help. Now this is the part Spirit really wants you to understand. You ask for help. You give the offering of grief. But you stop the flow. You stop awakening. You stop clearing. You stop remembering. With every situation that knocks you down, you stop remembering your limitless and your expansiveness, and you're growing. Every time you alchemize and transform, you're expanding. They're trying to stop your expansion. You let them. Stop that. Your path is limitless. It is written for you. So how can you say you're a part of spirit and you stop your flow? How can you say you're God, but you don't want to awaken? How can you say that when you ask for help, you hand over the grief, and in the next breath, you do the same fucking thing you were doing? You can't. You can't. Your path is why you're here. You understand? Your path is why you're here. Your path is why you're limitless. Your path is why you ask for help. And that help brings a clearing and brings a transformation, an expansiveness of your DNA expanding to that God-like state. You're here to learn how to do it. That's why you're here. You're here to awaken in the first place. But to get there, you must flow. Do you see the circle? Do you see the cyclical relationship? In any part of that cyclical relationship, they try to step their asses in and get in the way. No, you're not to sit in grief. You're not to sit there. You're to flow. That's why you have martial arts, to teach your energy to flow. You're to flow. That flowing movement, Qigong and the rest of them, awaken you to your Qi, your Ki. Awaken you to your mana flow. That feeds your expansiveness, that clears you from that negative that's not needed, that's built up in your body. And that's why some of us hurt. To your expansiveness, so you can transform. You are an alchemical being. You wield alchemy. You wield transformation. You wield the seeds of evolution in your very DNA. And they make you think you need them. You don't need them. You are a creative force of God, of sorts, by yourself. What activates it is love. What connects everyone in it is love. What stops it is fear and the chaos they're bringing. So they convince you you need their gift. But baby, what's the price? See, whenever someone gives me something, they ask me, or I ask, what's the price? If the price gets in the way of this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, if it gets in the way of that, and even this, that's a hell no. That price is too high. No. I'm not exchanging this for this or for this. There's nothing they could give you to replace. Because what they give you is here. What it costs you is there. But what source gives you is everywhere. Here, there, everywhere. So, why would you choose what's limiting as a gift? That's not a gift. Why would you choose blackmail as a gift? And control, that's not a gift. And they will say, oh, this is famous. Because I used to say it too. Not joining them, but I used to say it before I knew. They will say, well, what's the difference? You have that controlling you, or you have us controlling you. Baby, there's a big motherfucking difference. That light does not ask for my soul because my soul belongs to the light. You the one trying to get it. You the one that wants it. Again, I'm going to tell you how special your energy, your soul, and your spirit is. They got to trick you, lie to you, put you in fear, put you in chaos, put you in pain to try to steal from you. But they can't do shit unless you say yes or no. That's how powerful you are. And they want to make you believe you ain't. That's how much choice you got. It's called will. They gave theirs up. They need yours. Shouldn't have gave yours up then. No. And that answer is going to keep being no. No. And when we're freed from these, and that's the other thing they like to use as a weapon. Well, we gon' take you out, baby. Then you free me from my prison. And I can do my real work. Like the rest of the chosen and the star seeds. That's supposed to be a threat. Because people can't see it. Then I can move the way the spirits you call on move. And some of us are way more powerful than what they call on. That's a threat. You won't achieve shit. You release us out of our bodies. You think you will. You gonna try to figure out why the fuck you stopped. These are meat sacks. These meat sacks do not wield power like that. Do not wield our real power like that. We have to do a lot of work to wield our real power out of our bodies. But we have our electromagnetic field, right? But we got to do a lot of work to do that. Release us from our bodies, see what happens. Release us from our bodies and see what happens. You ain't going to be able to do shit. So that's supposed to be a threat. I see. That's the short-sightedness of the ones trying to keep you in fear. They're always short-sighted. There's no point, and this is my whole thing because I'm not here to judge them yet. The whole point is, there is no point to holding people back. There is no point. No one prospers. Excuse me. No one prospers if people are held back. No one prospers if one side or one person or one group, one cult, whatever, controls everything. Because there's always someone that has to serve, and there's always going to be someone who doesn't want to. There's always going to be someone who doesn't want to be number two. Hence this mess. There's always going to be somebody who's like, I'm better than you. I should be in that seat. Move. They can have that. They can have that. Not what I'm here for. That's not what we're here for. It's our time. Stop letting them make you limited. Stop feeding into it. Flow. Awaken. Cleanse yourself. Expand and transform. Right? Hand that grief over as your offering. Ask for the help, because that's why you're handing it over, because you need the help. Once you do, cleansed, and you start moving in your limitlessness, you don't pick fear back up. Once you lay that cross down, you ask Spirit to help you carry it. Spirit is going to say, you don't even need it. Give it here. I got other things for you to do. This is taking up your time. No. Hand it over. Put the cross down and hand it over. You got a job to do. Okay? You got a job to do. We ain't got time. See, I don't like focusing on them because we all know what them do. But you need to understand in relationship to you. That's why I talk about them. That's the only reason. In relationship to you. Put the fear down. And get on your damn path. And stop being afraid to walk your path. Irregardless, you got to walk it. If you don't choose to walk it, you become karmic. That's what makes you karmic. When you break the rules of why you came back, and when you refuse to walk your path of why you're here, that makes you karmic. And I have no less love for karmics. They just don't know. That's the difference. A divine knows. They're not ignorant to love. Karmics are ignorant to love. That's it. That's the only damn difference. And if you want to become divine again, baby, you have to work for that, and you got to prove that you want to. You can't just say it and then, oh, come on in. No. You got to prove it. That's why it's so hard to get back. You understand? People think, well, God said, as long as I apologize. Yeah, baby. But it didn't mean there was no penance and no payment. There is always a payment. I understand that. There is always a payment. And that's your love. And when you try to move to be divine, again, them love lessons is going to whoop your ass. So some people just forget it. I ain't going to do it. Okay, that's your choice. We not here for you, boo. We're here for the ones who need the help to get back there. For the ones, this is too hard. I need help to get back to that status. Then what does Spirit do? Sends us in. Sends us to you. We are its extension. We all are. Right. But the chosen star season indigo children, we're its extension. It sends us in. That's why we show up in your life. So when we do, take heed and appreciate it. Okay? Because that's someone else who doesn't get the help. You did? All right, my loves. I hope this was helpful. This was so profound. Of course, it was helpful. It came from Spirit. It was so profound. And I want you to understand something. I love talking to you. I love showing you. Because a master teacher learns as they teach. And I see something new every time I teach. Every time. It's really weird how it works. But as I be talking to you, my brain be working. And I be learning right along with you. Because I'm responsible for what I say to you and what I bring to you. So the word has to be right. It has to be right. Okay? But I also understand it comes from my perception. But my perception is based on what I see people go through, not only what I've gone through, but what I see as a trend that's going on and what needs to happen based on the universal laws. So my reasoning comes from the truth of the universe and from spirit and from source. So understand. Okay. I want you to keep this one thing in mind. When you're not understood by people, understand they didn't understand what my father said. They didn't know. He had to repeat it multiple times. Read John. Read the Gospel of John and see how many times my father had to repeat for the Pharisees, for the people, how he hated doing those miracles because that's all the people would pay attention to. Yes, Gaia. Yes, yes. And, oh, this wind is blowing. And pay attention to how he even had to repeat it for his disciples to understand over and over again. He had to repeat it before he was taken in at least 7 times. What it meant for him to be taken in, turned over, how they won't see him except when after, what will happen. And he understood they didn't understand. There's no way they could have, but he understood they didn't understand. He understood that. Nothing but a political ploy. And isn't that what we do now? We sacrifice people for the good of the republic. To kill 2 birds with 1 stone because they're afraid of another group. So you sacrifice a chosen one, a divine one. Because there's a difference between chosen ones and divine ones. You sacrifice a divine one. That was a divine one. To appease those who had money and power and control. I don't know if y'all can hear that wind. But as I'm talking, she talking. That's all it was. Political ploy. But it did way more, didn't it? Way more than they wanted it to. Funny how things work out. When you think you're destroying something. Divines be moves ahead. But you go on. Chosen one star sees indigo children, light workers. You are divinely protected. You are divinely loved. You have no clue how much. You have no clue how big this is. How deep this rabbit hole goes. You have no clue. Most of you have no clue what the fuck we're fighting for. You think it's just this light versus dark. No. No. It's deeper than that. It's a little bit more complicated. And there are those of us that also know the result. Walk your path and be limitless. Do your part. We're called right now. It is time for our testimony. It is time for us to be of service. And let me give you this warning. As you receive, because it's our time to receive, do not act like and be like them. I must give you this warning. And this warning is directly from Spirit, which I have not been hearing. But you're going to start hearing it. The readers are going to start to say it. When you get this blessing, when you start receiving, you are to be of service. You are to continue in the vein you are in. You are not to act like the enemy. If you do during this time of fruitfulness, this time of harvest, you're going to be a mustard seed on hard ground. I promise you. You will lose quicker than you can blink. You will be made karmic with no explanation. And my love, I don't know when you will regain again. Please heed this warning. When you receive, okay, understand you are accountable, just like they were, just like that other side. And it's to see what you're going to do with the very thing that's being used as a catalyst. Thank you. You stay humble. You stay grateful. You stay on your path. You use this material gain and this blessing you're going to get to push what's on your path. Do not act in selfishness that has nothing to do with selflessness. Selfishness of self, meaning self-love and preservation, yes. But not at the expense of hurting someone else, unless that person is a direct, is a direct offense to you in a way that gets in the way of your path, that gets in the way of your purpose, that's trying to break you down so you can't do your job. But other than that, no. You be selfless. Selfish and self-love, but selfless. That's the reason of being selfish. Okay? You be grateful for what you are to receive and what you're receiving, what you have received. You be grateful. You don't act like them. Don't act like them. Do not put people under your boot thinking that you can control. Do not play God. Or I should say Almighty. Don't play that. You will drop faster than the karmics you just walked away from. And you will be looked at like them. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, I'm giving you warning. You will lose. And will not be acknowledged by the light. Now I'm here to tell you. You won't. All right, my loves. I love you so much. We have so much work to do. But we can and we will. Be steadfast in your purpose. Be steadfast in your purpose. And those that haven't received yet, be grateful for the change you can make. They cannot stop you anymore. Know this, they cannot. Know in your spirit they can't. Delay don't mean stop and don't mean no. It just means delay. No, they can't stop you. Know it. Will it. And walk in love. We got work to do. All right, my loves, I love you. Always. How that may not look like love to you. I know it's love. There's a reason. Walk in love, y'all. That's what it's all about. You take care. You have a beautiful rest of your day. And I will see you soon. Namaste.